Morning, Fraser. Friday morning. Allie's gone off to work. Juno is bugging me. Yeah, just hanging around right now. I got a Zoom meeting with one of my doctors, and once that's done, then we'll figure out what we're gonna do for the day. But in the meantime, not too sure. Just kind of playing a little bit. She thinks she's a cat. She thinks she's a cat. Look at this. When we first got her, she was quite small, and she would crawl all over everything. Can you get back, please? Yeah. Wow. There's times where she tries to crawl up, like if you're sitting on the couch, she'll jump up and crawl and walk behind you kind of thing. But just waiting for this meeting, then we'll go from there. Dave sent me this photo. The bottom right-hand corner, there's a forklift. That would be me in the forklift, man. That was very early on, and this is an overall photo of the majority of the mill site that I got from the manager yesterday. All right, doc appointments done. Some of those doctor's appointments are exhausting, physically exhausting. I like my doctor, and she's great. She's very, very helpful. She's been immensely helpful. It's got nothing to do with her or that, but it's just they're just draining, so. But nonetheless, so I feel so drained that I got to get out of the house and I got to go and do something. So I wanted to come here and do this anyway. So the goal today is to replace this set of taps, because this set of taps is what is leaking the little black bits and such. So hopefully it shouldn't be a big deal, but either way, we'll figure it out. All right. So it looks simple. That's old copper, but that's okay. It should, and this one is already off. This one. I love it when that happens. That always scares me a little bit, but should be good. Water's off, so I've turned the water off. There'll be a little bit of water come out of this, but not much. Why is there always this right in the middle? That's good too. The nice thing is it's quite a big cupboard, so that's nice. I gotta say, most times I don't find cupboards overly big yet, or comfortable for that matter. So I got a text just before I started doing this. From Katie. She asked me to take a look at the sump pump stuff that we got going on outside, because the guys who did the plowing plowed over it and busted the
the post there. So once we're done this, we'll go up and we'll have a look at that. This really, so far, it's going as easily as it looks. So, you know. But again, we all know my track record, so, you know. Alright. There we go. Alright. Well, that. Okay, so, you know, yeah, I'm not saying that, you know, eye protection is a bad thing. You know, I should have been wearing it just there, Should have been wearing it just there. Man, that is. With some interesting colors. Alright, so not in bad shape. This is not in bad shape at all, but isn't that a nice color? No, come on. Seriously? Come on. Really? You see the problem here? I didn't bring anything else, so I gotta go home and get it. Which is good because I gotta go home and get my electrical tester anyway. Because I gotta drill through that, right? Alright, it's not a grinder, but a hole saw will have to do. So. Right there. We'll see if I can get under there. Well, yeah, I should be able. That worked out nicely and quite smooth. All right, so I'm glad I brought the hole saw because yeah, that worked out nicely. But that's not going to be easy because it's not going to fit. It's just a tad small, and dealing with hole saws, they can be a bit of a pain. Although it does have, it might be okay actually. It might be okay because I've already got the round portion of the sink that will kind of hold me in place, because that's the biggest thing when you've got a hole already there for a hole saw and you're using a bigger size. It just gets ugly, right? So let's see how we do. Just happen to have the right size hole saw. That was quick and easy. That actually worked out remarkably easy. Things keep going this easy, you guys are going to start thinking I actually know what I'm doing. So let's not get disillusioned here, okay? Silicone down there because, you know, I like silicone. Again, it's scaring me. It's working too smoothly. wrong side. Alright. Well, that concerns me a lot, actually. That was way too smooth and way too simple. And I know it was a very simple job. It should have only taken 2 minutes, and it only took 2 minutes aside from having to go and get the drill. Still scares me. Still scares me, man. But I'm going to turn on the water. The faucet itself is not tight yet, as far as, you know, attached to the counter, but let's see if she leaks. Alright, that was cold. Now let's try the hot. And the hot wasn't on before anyway. But let's try it. No leaks. No, I don't imagine. Oh yeah, I can feel it now. Feel the warmth. I'm gonna try one more time here. Yeah, you can turn it off. Okay, going back to the original on this side for a minute. Okay, does it feel solid, secure?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. I just couldn't get it tight enough on my own.
Great. Look at that. Rachie makes a request and it gets done.
It's done right now.
It was fine.
It would have been just the little innards in there.
Kids, our future, for example.
Well, that's why we changed it right away.
Yeah.
So.
Kids bounce back way faster than adults.
Yeah, they bounce. Job's done. It's not even a Wednesday. Maybe that's why. Maybe we gotta change Wednesdays to Mondays. Because if things are going this smoothly on Mondays. Wait a minute, it's not Monday. It's Friday. Yeah, okay. Even better. If things are going this better on Fridays, maybe we should change it to Fridays. I'm just saying. Go with the flow, right? So now we're gonna head out and have a look at that sump pump. See what we can do. Wiring doesn't scare me out there at all, dealing with water and sunken frozen water. It's all good. Apparently, at the entrance where I came in earlier, they have basically blocked us in with snow, so I'm going to try and see if I can't. Greg said it was 2 feet high. 2 feet high sucks. So if we can... Oh, that's not... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not good. So, I don't really care. I keep going in circles. off. I'm gonna leave this on just so you can see what's going on. You can't hear me, but you can see what's going on. Yeah. All right, I'm going to try and voice over this using the camera while I'm doing that. Oh no, Timmy, are you stuck in the well? Let me help you out. All right, maybe not. So what's going on is the snowplow, when they came in to clear stuff out today, they picked up the concrete barrier that was there unknowingly and scraped it across where the sump pump was, where the cover was. You can see the aluminum metal over to the right that got knocked over and bent. But where I'm standing there, I'm taking the grate off of the hole where the sump pump is down below. I want to check and make sure the sump pump is working, and you can't really see it well, but kind of right behind my my right hand there's an electrical box that was on a post, small metal post, and that's been bent over, and it's the PVC pipe that the lines were in is all broken now as well, so we're gonna have to fix all that stuff. Managed to get and of course the barrel is bent a little bit now in that as well, but that's okay. I managed to get the grate off, and so now what I'm doing is I'm looking down at the actual sump pump, because the water was actually up quite high, which I thought was really weird for sump pump. It was up higher than what I thought. Ow! Did you see that? Okay, so that there, I was leaning on the grate, and I did it like 2 or 3 times, and that last time was the final time. And I was leaning on the grate, and we have these nasty, nasty, nasty prickle bushes, and I got one right in the hand. So that's what that was. It looked like I was swatting away a bee, but it wasn't. It was just that. Anyway, so I'm reaching down in, and I'm adjusting the sump pump with a float, because the float was actually pulled up quite high, so it allows for a fair amount of water in there. But I flipped the float upside down, and sure enough, it works, and it kicked out a bunch of water and stuff out of there. You know, the system is not perfect, and it's got a bunch of leaks because there was water flying everywhere, but other than that, it was fine. It wasn't a big deal. So now I'm wet, I'm cold, and I want to check the electrical box and the electrical lines. I'm digging out near where the electrical lines are going down into the dirt, because I want to see if there's any exposed lines. So I'm a little nervous here, just in case there are any exposed lines. And I know now that there is still power to it, because I've already had the sump pump working at this point in time. I can't get any reading off of the electrical, my little electrical device, my little, what do you call it, tester. So I don't think that there's any electrical exposed there, but you know, for an abundance of caution, I'm still a little nervous, but I keep looking, I'm digging, I can't find anything. So now what I want to do is I want to get into that box and just see if anything's been, you know, drastically disturbed in there as well. But basically everything looks fine. That metal post is actually quite a long post. So it's going to stay there. It's going to stay attached to the electrical box, and we're going to keep everything there until such time as it's warm, or at least not wet and frozen. You know, I mean, you know, it doesn't even have to be really warm, but as long as it's got some sunshine around, a little drier maybe. 'Cause it was pretty cold kneeling on that snow. Now I'm looking in because there's I can't see what's on top of one of the morettes there, but it's not a big deal. It's just a little bit of it's a dead bug really is what it was. But it looked like one of the copper wires was exposed, but it was not. So all the wires look good in there. Not too worried about it. Everything's working. Everything looks fine. Just putting it back together. Again, the box itself is broken, and the lid for it is cracked, so we're going to have to replace all that. But now it's a matter of just getting this thing back together. And it doesn't want to fit on well. Because it's bent, we're going to have, I think we can probably still use, everything that we've got there is probably still all fine. That's me beating a dead horse. No. I'm trying to beat the grate to push it down in. And Craig came back because Craig wants to A, see if I need a hand, and B, wants to do the snow out front there. But other than that, everything looked really, really good. Just putting the grate back on and putting the nuts back on to make sure that the grate stays in place. And then afterwards, I take a hammer to the metal lid and straighten it out a little bit. Tested the wires. Everything's good. No exposed wires. Everything's still working. So we're good. I'm just going to bang that thing back in place. And then we're good for the day. Hey, Fraser. So yeah, got some work done today. It was good. Started off with doing the doctor's appointment, by Zoom kind of thing, right? It's yeah, they're a bit taxing. They're just emotionally, mentally, physically draining kind of thing, right? So, but got to get these things done. Gotta do them and all that wonderful stuff. Well, we chatted a lot about my incident earlier this week, right? So with the big dizzy that I had there. So yeah, it's a little stressful and all that sort of stuff because when you get dizzy, I get my dizzies when I'm talking about it and stuff. So it all adds to a little bit of stress there, but working through things and getting it all done. But then yeah, just the way I was feeling was just like blah and heavy kind of thing, right? So had to go, man. Had to go and do something. And it's a good thing I was already planning on going to do stuff with the church. So, because I got in there and started looking at the sink, and it was okay. The sink was going fine. It was just getting me rolling and getting me back to a mental state that was good. And then by the time that sink was done, I felt back to normal again, kind of thing, right? So that it was nice to be able to get outside and do another job. But yeah, the sync went really, really well. It really scared me how well the sync went, actually. Because again, my track record shows that those things don't normally happen. But no, it was good. The most disturbing thing about that faucet job was the color of the countertop, the way it used to be before they obviously painted it black with melamine paint. But that bright, stark yellow was just, it was, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I drilled it out. Been getting some updates from Earl. Debbie's doing well. She stood for the first time about a week ago. She's got a wheelchair now, and I got a picture of her today where she's like using a walker to get going and move, and which is really, really good, right? Because she's got to get walking, and she's been in bed for a month and a half. So she's gonna have to get back into that rehabilitation of getting the muscles working and all that sort of stuff. So she's actually going to a rehabilitation facility, and she'll be able to stay there and do all the physio and stuff that she needs to do, and hopefully she gets home soon. So that was my day in a nutshell, or that was my day in video clips, I guess. All right, man. I wanted to read. You know what? I know I said I want to read out of Matthew, and I'm just going to start going through the New Testament, but I'm going to jump around all over the place. My default is going to be going back, and working through, kind of methodically, but I just want to jump around so much. It's just, who I am. So, we're in the New Testament in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 16 to 18. Therefore, we do not lose heart, though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Everything that we see, we know. Everything that we see is temporary, right? Moth and rust destroy. Things degrade. Things, age and die, as we do. Everything here is temporary. But what we can't see is God and the heavenly spiritual realm. And that's eternal, man. That's there. And I know I've chatted about this a little bit before, but the blip that we are, the Bible actually calls us like we're like a blade of grass that springs up and then dies and withers in a very short span of time, because in the light of eternity we spring up, we live our life, and then we die, which for us would be 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years. But in light of eternity, it's a snap of the fingers, man. So we are temporary, we are temporal, but God is eternal. And God has created us in such a way that we are also eternal. Not these bodies, but our spirit is eternal. And again, Christ on the cross dies for us, atones for all of our sins, and offers that to us as a free gift. We accept that. We ask for forgiveness. We spend eternity with God in heaven, in the spiritual realm. Spiritual realm sounds like a sci-fi movie, doesn't it? The spiritual realm. But yeah, what else do you call it, right? It's what is not seen. It's heaven. How else do you describe heaven, right? Like, we jump over to 1 Corinthians 2:9. It says, however, as it is written, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind is conceived what God has prepared for those who love him. We can't possibly comprehend the wonders, the amazement of what God has created for us in heaven. And a lot of these sci-fi movies and all that sort of stuff, they try and get into that, and they try and, imagine different things, and they all, our imagination runs wild. I don't think we have a clue, and I think it's going to be so spectacular. The most wild imagination cannot possibly conceive and will pale in comparison to what it actually is when we get there. So, and again, it's offered to you as a gift, free gift, man. Can't buy it, can't steal it, can't earn it, nothing. But God gives it as a free gift to anybody who wants it. Absolutely anybody. All you have to do is ask for forgiveness. All who call in the name of the Lord, all who call in the name of Jesus will be saved. Everybody, love you. Hope you enjoyed the video. God loves you. I miss you. I look forward to seeing you soon. And I will post more tomorrow.